So today we're going to discuss giant sets and how we would program giant sets in the two different methods of giant setting exercises together. So for those who don't know what giant sets are, it is about 3 to 5 exercises all back to back with no rest in between. So there's a couple of ways of doing these things. So if you really want to annihilate the muscle and really wake it up, say if things aren't growing, say if it's your chest, right? Let's use your chest as an example, and you feel that your chest really hasn't gotten anywhere. You're in a calorie surplus, you're getting the right amount of protein, you're training hard, chest isn't really getting anywhere. It's not, you're not getting that sore anymore. It's time to give that chest a good hiding. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick, let's say, 3 chest exercises to hit in a row. So let's say bench press, a seated chest press, and a push-up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bang out our reps on the bench press. We're going to go straight to our seated chest press. We're going to bang out some reps there, and then we're going to bang out as many push-ups as we can. Okay, and we're going to rest 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to go again. Okay, for X amount of sets. So that is giant setting the same muscle groups together. Okay, this can become extremely fatiguing after a while. And it will fry you. It will really, really hit your chest hard, and you'll feel like you're walking around with bloody, 2 wheelie bins shoved down your shirt for a couple of weeks. But as I said, it becomes very fatiguing. So the way I would do this method is I would cycle it in for 2 weeks, and then I would take it out. So I wouldn't do it again for a little while. Just keep it in our toolbox for when we need it again. Because if you constantly are just doing giant sets of the same muscle group, eventually the stimulation that you get from training like that will obviously not have the effect it did the first week or 2 that you started doing it, and then you're going to be looking for something else to destroy your chest even more. So you might have to do 4 exercises or 5 exercises to get things going. So we definitely don't want to be doing that. We need to be going back to our normal sets and rep schemes by themselves, and then give it maybe another 4 weeks, and then do another 2-week block of your giant sets of the same muscle group. Now, one other method that you can do all year round is giant setting different muscle groups together, and this is what I love to do in my one-on-one training with my guys, because it just packs so much volume into the session. It's probably why half of them spew up as well, but look, that's just part and parcel of it. It's more important for them to get the workload done. So the difference in those 2 methods is the giant sets with the different muscle groups. So you could do a chest exercise. So let's say bench press, straight onto lat pull downs, and then straight into let's say a shoulder press. Okay, so yeah, I know the shoulder press, shoulders and bench press, I know it's very similar, but it is a different movement. So, and that's what I do, and it works really well. You don't get much decline in the shoulder presses as far as volume. So what you would do there is you hit your bench press for X amount of reps, go straight onto your lat pull down, and then go onto your shoulders. What I like to do is I like to start the rest timer after the first exercise. So by the time you come around to the 3rd exercise, it's been about 2 minutes since you trained your chest. So then you can pretty much go again straight away. You might have maybe a minute if you need it. It's going to depend on your conditioning as well. But that is how I do things with giant setting opposing muscle groups. Now, if you do find that, ideally we know, let's say if we're building muscle tissue, we know that we need to be hitting, 10 to 20 reps to get that volume in. If any of those exercises, the rep schemes dip below 10, I will definitely have longer rest after all 3 of those exercises are done, or I might have a little bit of longer rest in between, if that makes sense. You definitely don't want to be dipping under the 10 rep scheme on any of those exercises if building muscle tissue is that goal. So they're 2 completely different ways to giant set things. As I said, just to summarize, the same muscle group giant sets I would cycle in for 2 weeks, take out for another 4, and then come back if you wanted to. And then the opposing muscle group giant sets you could do all year round, not a problem. Great for getting in a ton of volume, great fat burner. So yeah, absolutely. I would definitely be having a look at a couple of those methods to try and either get some more workload into your training session, or to just absolutely annihilate a lagging muscle group.